All protocols duly observed. Everybody gets your seat. Good. Bikono kind of land. Kind of land. Bikono. Omo Biafra kind of land. Me and you join for that. Kind of land. What's your name? Sit down. Yeah, give it to him now. Do you want me to connect it up? Collins. Yeah.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Indigenous people of Biafra, all the people of Biafra, Canadians, all the people of Biafra, IPOB, one family, IPOB. I wish to welcome the spring leader, the indigenous people of Biafra. Nnamdi Kanu, we welcome you. Your people are here to receive you. I want to tell you that within the people seated right here to listen to you are chiefs, dinzes, the cheers, fathers, mothers, children, grandchildren. You're very much welcome. I want to talk to you today about the journey so far and the misconception and the innuendos and the stories behind IPOB. 7 years ago, not long ago, I'm not sure how many people here are born Biafrans and how many people here are born Nigerians. But majority of the members of indigenous people of Biafra, I can tell you, are mainly Nigerians. They didn't see the Biafran war. They were all born Nigerians. But today, they're championing the restoration of the Republic of Biafra. The reason why these younger people are championing is that they're looking around thinking, what the hell is going on? How come we were born here? Where's the country? And therefore, they were able to connect with the spring leader who saw what people couldn't see. The events that are unfolding in Nigeria today attest to the fact that he was a man that saw tomorrow. It took Obasanjo years to realize that Nigeria is being colonized and Islamized. He was only voice in the wilderness, crying, asking people to wake up from slumber. Even though you are averse to war, that war is coming to meet you. So what will be the same solution to this is to be prepared to defend yourself from an aggressor that is coming to not only kill you, but to rape you, to discredit your fatherland. So what we are calling you today is maximum support as we receive our Hamadike in our midst. On behalf of all the people of Biafra, I welcome you once again on Hamadike.
IPOB, one family. IPOB, one family. IPOB, one family. IPOB. Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be in Canada and in Toronto, to be precise. And this very fine evening, the grace of heaven will descend upon this very gathering, I can assure you. I am impressed with the turnout here. I never knew there were so many Biafrans in Canada. All I can hope for is that we will continue in this same spirit of unity, a sense of purpose and direction, to support everything that our leadership is doing here until Biafra is restored. I'm sure that most of you would like to go back home to Biafra. There is only one way to accomplish that, and that route is IPOB. IPOB! A round of applause for you.
Let me start by quickly introduce the principal servants. In IPOB, I'm talking to you today so that you can understand and learn a few things about the organization Indigenous People of Biafra. We normally address the people that lead us as chief servants because they're serving the people. Let me start to introduce to you, I'm the national coordinator of Indigenous People of Biafra. My name is Nzeti Okafo. And I have Chief Collins Ogoke as the Deputy National Coordinator. Please stand, please. And I have Princess Joy Ochiabuto as the Secretary General. And I'm just going to quickly introduce, we have coordinators in 4 provinces so far. I have the coordinator for Quebec, Ebe Oga. He owns the Ujo Night Club in Montreal. So when you go down to Montreal and you want to have some good time, check out the Oga Night Club. Ujo Night Club. And we have Mazi Celestine Omuka as the coordinator of Alberta. And we have Mazi Onyeka Chinwe Ndo, coordinator of Ontario. And we will try to, if you see some of the flyers we sent out for this event, or the phone numbers there so that you can contact any person directly or closest to your province. The coordinator for British Columbia wasn't able to make it to this particular event. So, but he's with us. He's linked with us online. And so, just like we said, this is the climax of what we've been doing for some time, sensitizing our people that even if you're running away from the problem is going to meet you. So the sense solution will be prepared. Educate yourself. IPOB is built on not only mass mobilization, civil disobedience. The key, most important thing that IPOB does is mass education. To educate ourselves, the dangers they face in Nigeria, the immediate dangers they know now, the dangers that we confronted down the line. We might not see them, but they do exist. The things you see today are just the tip of the iceberg. What is going to happen tomorrow? So I'm glad to bring the oracle himself, the man that saw tomorrow, the man that is as fearless as he can get. The whole brutal regime in Nigeria was so many people, they call it so many things, so many names. Half man, half spirit, or Hamadike, the supreme, the commander of the Indigenous People of Biafra. Any way you greet him is equal to the task.
All of the above.
All of the above. The reason why he is here today is to speak to you, so that you can see him, you can feel him, you can ask him any question you feel like asking him. No matter how difficult it is, he is going to answer those questions today. while we were driving yesterday, he looked around, he says, beautiful country, Nigeria. And he said the only way this country was built, he didn't say science, he says on discipline. Canada, yes. Sorry. I didn't mean to say Mizzou. I mean to say Canada, here where we live. He looked at it, he said, the people that built this place were able to build it because they were disciplined. And he said, for Biafra to emerge and survive and succeed, we have to be disciplined. So while we were driving in, I wanted him to come from the back door. He said, not only out of principle, but also as a prince, he will never enter a building from the side door. So, without wasting much of your time, we will go to the next item on the program. We will ask Ohamadike to please pray for us.
IPOB, 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 one family. I am delighted to be here in Toronto, Canada, before a very beautiful, polished, distinguished, esteemed audience like a good selves. There are going to be a few house rules. If your phone's around, please endeavor to put it on silent, on vibrate, because we're about to pray. That the very Chukukikabiama that not only created Biafra, but made our ancestors to inhabit it by his grace, may preside over our proceedings this evening to the eternal adoration of his holy name. Therefore, we call upon heaven itself I will pray in the language of heaven, and I will also interject it with English language. You have to excuse me, because if you are in the presence of the Almighty God, the Creator, you will hear the angels worship him in Igbo language. Chineke nna nke pụrụ m ihe niile, Chukwu okike abịa ma bụ onye anyị na-efe wee na-aja mma mgbe niile, onye ọ bụ naanị ya ka ndị mmụọ ozi na-efe, ọbụladị ndị okenye ọrụ abụọ na anọ na-atụ nkwa ọlaedo na na-asị na-ebi nsọ Chineke na nsọ ka onye nwanyị dị, anyị wee na-arịọ oyi ezi ebube dị ngọzi ma ruo mgbe ebighị ebi, ka iwe bịa nọnyere ụmụ gị. Anyị onwe anyị bụ ndị nọ n'ime ahụhụ wee nọrọ n'ime ọkpọrọ Awụsa Fulani wee jide anyị wee na-enyemina anyị, ọbụla dị Britain ọbụla ihe ọbụla anyị mere ha wee buru ọchịchịrị wee bata n'ime ndụ anyị, anyị wee na-arịọ oyi Chineke nna nke igwe ihe iwe bata n'ime ndụ anyị n'ụbọchị nke taa. Anyị wee na-ekwubi okwu n'isi ụmụ gị bụ IPOB n'ụwa niile bụ ndị gọziri agọzi n'ihi na ha bụ ụmụ Chineke nwe ka ha bụ onye nwe m ụmụ ọrụ gị ka anyị bụ ka m na-eche gị n'iru na Toronto na Canada na mba ndị ọzọ bụ ebe anyị gbabatara ka anyị wee lee ma ndụ ọ gafere anyị onye nwe anyị na Chineke nna eze ebube dị ngọzi bịa ka iwe pụrụ anyị n'ihu na azụ na anyị n'aka anyị na aka ekpe ka iwe kpochapụrụ anyị ajọ mmụọ na ajọ mmadụ ka iwe jide ka ha na nke dị nsọ bụ ndị si na Biafra agaghị adị wee mee ka isi wee gbuo ha ha niile na nke ebere bụ ndị si na ụmụ gị anyị aṅụ mmiri ma tọgbọ ike onye nwe m na Chineke nna bịa ka iwe mee ka aka nsị ha wee baa ha ọnụ onwe ebumnobi bụ n'obi onye ime n'igwe mgbe i siri ozi wee gwa ndị Igbo na ha ga-abata n'ime Afrịka na ihe ị ga-apụtarịrị na o nweghị ihe ọbụla mmadụ dị ndụ pụrụ ime gbasara ya n'ihi na ọ bụghị bụ Chineke nna ọ bụ gị kere ihe niile kere eke mana nweghị onye kere gị ọ bụ naanị ịbụ mmalite na ọgwụgwụ isi iyi nke ndụ ma amacha amacha ọka aka ka ịbụ a na-etu aha na-asị na iwe ebighị ebi onye nwe m biko mmadụ dị ndụ ga-anwụ kama n'okwu gị na-anọgide ma ruo mgbe ebighị ebi ọ bụ n'okwu nsọ gị Chineke nna nke igwe ka anyị gbakwasịrị ezinụlọ IPOB wee na-arịọ gị ịhụnanya gị ma mma gị n'ime ndụ anyị niile n'otu n'otu ka iwe chebe anyị ma chebe ezinụlọ anyị wee chebe ọmụmụ anyị nna nke dị nsọ wee kwe ka ịhụnanya gị wee zuo oke n'ebe anyị nọ wee kwe ka anyị wee banye n'ala nsọ gị bụ Biafra dịka isi wee kwe anyị na nkwa ka ihe niile nke ndị onwe gị bụ Chineke nna nke bi n'ime eluigwe kwesịrị n'ime ndụ anyị nna nke dị nsọ ka o wee bịa na mmezu na ndụ na-abụghị n'ọnwụ anyị wee na-arịọ gị onye ọbụ naanị ya na-achị ka ị wee kwe ka ezi mmụọ gị wee baa anyị n'ime n'abalị ya ka anyị wee hụ onwe anyị n'anya ka anyị wee nwee mmekọrịta dịka kwesịrị isi wee dị n'etiti ụmụnne na ụmụnne ka ịhụnanya gị wee mụbaa n'ebe anyị nọ ka ị wee chebe anyị ka ị wee jide obodo ekwesị bụ zu ma laa ya n'iyi n'ihi na Biafra ga-abịarịrị onye ọbụla si na Biafra agaghị eguzo na nke dị onye ha agaghị adị eze Chineke na nke ebe biko nwere ekpere anyị ka akwa anyị na-emetụta gị n'obi n'ugbo obi ka anyị bụ ndị ụlọ gwara anyị okirikiri Biafra agaghị abịa ọbụla mepụtara na Biafra ga-abịarịrị ọ bụghị ihe mmadụ dị ndụ pụrụ ime ọ bụ site na amara gị na ekpere gị onye ime eluigwe anyị wee na-ajọ gị na mmadụ na ekpere gị kpochapụrụ anyị ajọ mmụọ na ajọ mmadụ ihe niile ka anyị ga-eme wepụrụ ihe ga-aga nke ọma ege pụtara aha nsọ na nsọpụrụ na ịja mgbe nọrọ mgbe niile
Ohamadike, the prophet of our time. The next item on the program, before we do anything, we giving praises to God. We will sing to the nation of Canada, the national anthem of Canada. Please, you may stand. Okay, let's go with the Biafran anthem before we go Canada.
Let go.
Please keep standing. Canadian National Anthem. Thank you. You may be seated. DJ, can you just put some Biafra songs as we get ready to move into the next item of the program? Thank you. What you see? What you do? There is a Biafra here. It's a sax. It's a saxophone. He wants to play one or two tracks for you to mellow people down so that we can continue. His name is David the Sax.
Nnamdi Kanu, Okirikiri kana watu kose, akinariye, anemena nkiti. Abwa guru beturo okoro, owa ihoni ogemedi. Nnamdi Mahamadi, Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Prince ani jagamba, tukugozi yengi, ogogo tukugozi. Owa ihoni and your mantle is in your front, and your girlfriend, and your laughter, you are not see your back. Nnamdi Kanu, Ina Hubi Afura, Ina Beni Meya, Ino Mugi, Omi Kaka Yebugi, Oya Kari Mugi Numa, Ina Lobe Kuloya, Ina Nibu, Oga the Bunde Boya, Oya Beroto, Oga the Bunde Boya, Oya Beroto, Oga the Bunde Boya, Nasu.
Not so. All hail Biafra. 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 IPOP. IPOP. Thank you so much, our brother, for that good presentation. Please, before we continue, just got a message that somebody whose plate number is BEXV225. It's a Honda car. You are blocking someone that is not part of this program, and the lady wants to leave. I wouldn't want you to come out and call towing van and you miss your car. Please, if your car is blocking someone across the street, BEXV225. BEXV225, please move your car. The next item on the program is presentation of Kolanut. In our culture, when a visitor comes to your place, or organization in the city of Toronto wants to present Kolanut to you. And I'm calling on Chief Steve Akwarando and Bennett Ukewu to please come and present Kolanut to Hamadike. A round of applause for them.
Igbo keleni, ndị Igbo keleni, Igbo kwezuoni. Ndị be anyị sakala iko bụ ịbara leba na nkwana na chaliko. Onye bi si na o nwere oji a ga-eji aga ma ọ bụ na awala awa ya echenji step ya. Igbo mmadụ aka dike erula ala. On the Igbo Union, Igbo Union of Canada. Obana Balum Igbo. Ebelaino. Ugo Demba, the Rokolana. Egacha, Megalumene, Enaga. You want it's never came. What will you give me in the Wojo? One night you woke up.
If what the man and the man. Come on, let me say, How many homes? I can't be saying people. What you don't know about? I make a loan. Chief, you want to come here? My chin, Nea, Chilania, Nea. What's some people union? Neba, because Lang Hono. I not about Juno. No, I represent Juno. Mua Bunabi. But the Gabo Nimo. A Boyano Mia, a Lugaron. Oh, I got soon. They say, Asabo, Aqua, Atalimo, Yeriaman. I got what they say. And you're gonna hear. I can't get a break here. Because Abu Mobile one. No matter what you change, I got my boy chief. I'm a chief. I got my boy Chief Abeji, or Igbo Union, one of our elders. Mama, on here. Okay. Chief Abeji. Chief Ego, I'm a man of labor. They are leading chief. Chief, anyway, no. Landia chief, but you were doing. And Chief Amejibana told you, what you had to have Madiki. Oh, no, what I have Madika, one mobile, what did you do? How did you lamba? Which you banana, what you produce? You wouldn't know the Sobia. None of the Otaji they promote culture. La Canada. I was speaking Oban Mako, the man people. In Hydrata, also one of the major TND Igbo Union they promote. Me money, Dama. Igbo Union will be so little. Labia Fragade. Adogade. Chief, you're welcome. Ibojana. And I speak to Roger. But then, one night you woke up, because yeah, they got back here. And they should know where Chiveco. The man again. You got no, no, but I'm not going to again. God, because Bella and you back. Chief of Groneva. IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu. Biafra, the chief commander of the armed forces of Biafra. I need to learn and better than I say. Oh, Chineke wepụtara nwa, ọ nwata, ọ nwoke. Ọ ga-aka. Wepụtara so bịa rụọ ọrụ ọna. Onye ọbụla ma otu anyị si biri n'ala Igbo, kemgbe ọ bịa pụta na-ekwu okwu, o meririala anyị niile anya, ndị na-ahụ ụzọ ahụhụ ụzọ. Ndị na-anaghị anụ anaghị.
Thank you very much for your education, for your dedication, for your commitment. Hi, Bella. Go, hi, Bella. You're singing. What the way I go now, grind, I never. Igbo Union is strong. I'm glad you'll be start. I'm going to do. Now, epidemiology, we have just I want to get again. I will tell you team of coffee. Suppose I'm not going from me anyway. Onye wetara ọjị wetara ndụ. Chineke mere ka anyị taa ọjị a, onye anyị ndụ ogologo. Onye anyị amamihe, onye anyị nghọta, onye anyị ime ihe n'otu. Kpọkọta obi anyị ọnụ, weta udo n'ebe anyị nọ, mee ka anyị mụbaa kwere ihe niile, were ihe niile Maazị Nnamdi Kanu na-agwa ya, tinye n'obi mara na on-achievement restoration of the Federal Republic of Biafra. Na-edu n'ụzọ niile, ekwela ọgwụ mkpọ ya, ekwela ihe ọbụla n'anyị. Anyị niile takwana ọjị a ka anyị tata ndụ chọta ọganihu ihe niile dị n'aha Chukwu Okike abịa ma onye nwe anyị. Anyị bụ ụfọdụ bụ ndị amụrụ oge ọgụdị gịnwa bụ onye amụbeghị ọgụ wee bụrụ onye nọ n'isi ọka Chineke si eme ihe anyị na-esi onye nwe anyị ekebi aka ọjị onye bi aka ọjị akọbi aka ọjị ọbịa aka ọjị aka na anụ oge n'agha ọya bụ ndị Igbo ọya ka anyị bụ anyị wee na-asị Chineke mere anyị ebere n'aka gị. Ịma na ọgụ ị na-anọ abụghị obere ọgụ. Ị na-anọkwu ndị ọcha niile ọgụ. Ị na-adịsọ ọgụ. IGP ị na-adịsọ ọgụ. Eso mgbọbụrụ ị na-adịsọ ọgụ. Ọ ndị a bụ ndị na-eri anyị titi. Anyị na-arịọ onye nwe anyị ka onye gị ike maka ihe a abụrụkwa obere ike. Ihe a abụrụkwa ihe eji. Ọgbakọba na ihe na-eme ihe a. Aga ọ bụrụ na ọ bụrụ na ọ Chineke ga-eme. Anyị wee na-asị na anyị mapụ ndị nke zurugoro ahụ ole anya biko jisi ike ọ ga-adị mma ụjọ atụna gị nwe na-ekwe oge ọbụla na-asị ụjọ atụna mmadụ n'ime ya ọ bụrụ ike gị ka ị ga-ekwukwa biko jisi ike Chukwu ga-agba gị ndụ kwa anyị bụ ụmụ Igbo ndụ kwa ndị ọzọ niile ndụ kwa ndị ụwa
I can't wait. We call it Juno. They got no be Canada. All what they have, they move down.
Apura and Anyabuda, the elders of the community here. Because we are not going to go in Aka.
Igbo person. This relationship with our job on that. So I'm going to say this Nadia. President Nadia, because now we're just sources of people. Oh, yeah, here because that was Nadia.
Sorry, points of correction. Anambra first.
Those Anambra should go first.
Anambra.
Oh, Anambra, because that was Anambra.
Anambra.
Okay, I will not able to that. Oh, Anambra, not happy to have that with Anambra. Anambra will lodge. Oh, Enugu State here. I look at the horror.
Give me key. We have work.
I said, go on Korea. Nemo, Pico. Nemo. I got to say, just actually, an elderly person for me. Oh, near State, Nobody don't know how to have a demo here with him.
A boy in a band.
Oh, never.
A boy in here. Now, why I'm not here?
Only that time here. Delta State. Only Cross River. Only Cross River. Yes. Cross River. Only Aquabom. Aquabom.
No, never.
Usachibom. Only River State. Only River.
No.
River State. Bayelsa State. Why Bayelsa man? So, Ndebo Afra. I want to pick up. I want
So
you want to have a boss. I want to State.
Edo State. Yes, sir.
You shall not begin in Edo State. I want to welcome my brother. Onyeka. Narela wana local government. Bigoni. Otu abụọ ha n'ọnọ. Anyị ga-awazi the original. Onyeka. Bigoni ya hauta. Mgbe ọzọ ka bịa n'efe ndị amị ya. Thank you, Mr. Keko. Can we clap for Igbo Union, please?
And some people were saying we speak too much Igbo in our language, in our culture. The Kola do not understand English. And the person sitting here is a priest. His dad is a custodian of Igbo culture. So we must respect that. If we go to other Biafran communities, we will, submit ourselves to their culture. Nnamdi was saying yesterday when he was speaking to people, he said, in the new Republic of Biafra, there will be completely independent units. The only thing that will be uniting the people is foreign policy and defense. Every other thing will be very, very autonomous. So that's when you will see the ingenuity of the Biafran people. As we continue, we need to speed up because the real essence of Nnamdi is coming is so that he can preach the gospel of restoration. Behind there, we have people who can register you if you want to join the movement. We are asking you to join the movement. This movement was created for you, for every one of us. If we come together and demand change in Nigeria, in the zoo, that change will come tomorrow. Regardless of how we look at Nnamdi, there must be people standing behind him. He cannot do it alone. The beauty of democracy and freedom is that the people must demand for their freedom. Freedom will not meet in your home. You have to demand for your freedom. And that freedom is what is come to preach to you, to join forces with him, to emancipate our people. Nnamdi, before you start your second missionary journey, you were talking about your first missionary journey to Canada. You came and sowed the seed, and the Lord has happened from then to now. You've come to water the seed that you sowed. And I pray that this time around, it will bear fruit millionfold and billionfold. Yes. If you go behind there, you can register and join IPOB. For people who don't understand what IPOB is, it's a movement of free-spirited individuals who no longer see Nigeria as a viable option. If it's left for me, I will not be a member of IPOB. But I have a son. I don't know whether that son will ever go back to the zoo. Because if he goes there, he's going to leave the next morning. Because there's no nation, there's nothing happening. If we that live in diaspora wants to have a place to retire, if you want your name to continue so that Obige Funa, then you have to do something. If, I'm pretty sure Nnamdi would have said, if Nigeria had worked, I'm saying, supposing Nigeria had worked, and we have all the tribes that make up Nigeria, and they love each other, and they understand the concept of building a nation. There's trust, there's love, there's unity, there's no pogrom. You will not have IPOB. The reason why you have IPOB and the prophet himself is because he did not work.
Yeah.
Can you clap for her? Okay, then I agree with you. I agree with you. There are also people who join the struggle out of hopelessness. Out of hopelessness. When you wake up every morning and you're weighed down by a problem and there's nothing that's happening and you look towards the future and it's called hopelessness. And you cannot live in hopelessness. So we brought the message of hope. We have suya there. It's sold $5 once a year. And let me tell you something. The $20 you paid coming in here, or the suya, or the jersey, or the t-shirt you purchased, if you don't know, we, IPOB, under the leadership of Nnamdi, spent millions and millions of naira to treat people that are injured during mass protests, people who are locked up for your freedom, our offices. When the zoo locks people up, from the day they get in there, their rent need to be paid, their children's school fees need to be paid. If I don't tell you, you will not understand. That's true. So the money you're giving us today is blessed money, because it goes to the root of the families of the people that are sacrificing for the restoration of Biafra. There are veterans here, Hamadike. And before we continue, if the veterans here in this hall can come and welcome Hamadike. I've seen Mazi Simon Okoroji. I've seen Azikiwe. Who else? Please, can you people come to the front? All the veterans, all the Biafran veterans. Can you please stand up?
Yes. Na one ba beach. Mgbe ejiri bomb twani plane asa try bomb for 24 hours. Non-stop. Anyị hapụta ndị pụta mụrụ ya na towe ihe ọbụla ahụ adịmọnụ. Mana kemgbe aha ndị echekwara m ihe ahụcha ya kwụsị. Emechakwa na continue. Agwa m sị ihe ahụhụ a nta na ụmụ ụmụ m ga-atakwa ya ahụhụ.
Never again.
Mana mgbe m bịara nụ okwu ọnụ gị, obi siri m ike. Abịara m sị na mkpa anyị gbara adịghị n'efu, ọ ga-ala. Ndị nọ n'ugbu a, ọ nwere n'ime oke ehi, ezigbo oke ike. Ehi n'uche ụmụ okorobịa achụ ya. Unu lekwa na ndụ nwoke a, dọọ na ya aka n'ugwu. Ndị Roman people na-achịrị ịsa gị chọrọ udo, kwado maka ọkụkọ. Anyị chọrọ udo. Unu bịa gba ya gburugburu ka anyị kwado maka udo. Ụzọ na-esi agbapụ udo. Nwa m nwoke, tupu wetara gị nye gị ndị Igbo ga-echekwa gị. Nna alaje ugbu a, alaje nka dike.
717 BS 717.
Can you come out, please, and take a picture with us?
Yes.
Please.
Shift. But then.
Do we have the pictures now?
Yeah.
Thank you. You may see it.
Okay.
Please, you may be seated. Please, the next item on the program is the reason why we are here. It is time for the message of restoration. Please, if you have your cell phone on and you're moving, be seated. Be seated. I want everybody to be seated. Ahamadike, it is time for you to speak to our people.
I am very happy to be in Canada today. I am not only surprised, pleasantly surprised, mind you, I am overwhelmed by the warmth that I have felt since I have been here, the generosity, the camaraderie, the togetherness, the sense of purpose and of direction. The whole world is watching this, by the way. If anybody had any doubt before today about the preparedness of our people in Canada to support the restoration of Biafra, I can assure you that those doubts have been put to bed. We've seen our elders here, our veterans have come. I have seen them, or some of them, in Canada. We start with our veterans because without them we wouldn't be here to start with. Without our veterans, our land would have been overrun by the Janjaweed Wahhabi Islamists What they wanted to do after the war was to kill every male child. Yes. And only allow those from 10 years younger to survive. They will be forcibly converted to Islam, and our way of life and our people will be history. As I said yesterday, and as I repeat today, the same thing they did to our people was what they wanted to do to us. But because of our veterans that fought with nothing for 3 years, to the amazement of the whole world, that we may be here today in Canada as people in the land of the living. The sacrifices they made is so unique that we have continued to make those sacrifices till this very day. Therefore, in keeping with the spirit of the moment, I will ask everybody here to stand up. We are going to observe 1 minute silence for those that died, that we may live. All of our soldiers and our heroes that fought very gallantly for Biafra to still exist as a nation today with people in it. The time starts now. IPOB! You may be seated, please. We have come that we may preach this very gospel. And I will start with the veterans, first of all. Before we came, before Chukwukabiyama determined that we should come, because we have not come by our own might nor power, there was nothing like 30th of May, Heroes Remembrance. Is this very great family, this same IPOB that introduced it? And we introduced it for a reason. For you to proceed in life, you must acknowledge the sacrifice of those who went before you. IPOB all over the whole world will remember our heroes every 30th of May of each year. That the spirit of those that fought and fell in battlefields all across Biafra land may accompany us on this very glorious journey towards our freedom as a people and as a nation. It is very, very unfortunate that most people don't understand the symbolism. But given the turnout here today, I am sure that 30th of May, 2020 in Canada will be something exceptional. I have not come to make you happy. I've brought you very bad news. The news from back home is terrible. It is awful. As I speak to you now, we continue to make this sacrifice. We are fighting Fulani people in Anambra. We are fighting them in Delta. We are fighting them in Ebonyi. And very soon we shall also start fighting them in Abia. This is the sort of news you don't read about. These are some of the things that IPOB is doing that I'm sure most of you here are not aware of. Those who go to defend our land are dying and are being killed. there is very little or no support at all. As our coordinator rightly pointed out, every fund we receive goes towards the front line to take care of families whose breadwinners are in prison, those killed, those who are being tortured, those who are being forced to deny who they are, those of them who are fighting for you and I. I know that some of us are removed. We are in Canada. I spoke to somebody earlier today, and I asked him, how do you feel being in Canada, not remembering the suffering of those who are at home, dying on a daily basis? Because I made it very clear to him there is a difference between us and white people. As you all know me, I speak the truth. It doesn't matter the audience, it doesn't matter where I am. Always I will tell you the truth. Some of us came to Canada and forgot that we have relatives at home. That some of you came to Canada by the divine grace of Elohim Chukwukika Abiyama, that you may help support IPOB at this time to help liberate our home for all of us to go back to it. That is why you are here, but some of you have forgotten that. You think you came here by your own strength. You think you came here by your own ingenuity. That is not correct. You are here alive at this moment because of what we are doing. And that is why it is your responsibility, each and every one of you, to make sure you are part and parcel of this very noble family of IPOB. In whatever way you can support, we expect it. Because without you, Biafra will not happen. It is not about me, not about the DOS, not about my deputy chairman, my phone, no. It's about your own future. If you will not do Biafra for other people who are suffering back home, do it for your children. Because you have no religion. You have no language that can bind you together. The Jews survived for 2,000 years because they had Judaism. Hebrew was their language. But we have nothing. I challenge anybody to stand up here and speak in their local dialect for 10 minutes without adding an English word, which means that your language will be extinct if you don't go back to where you come from. That is human nature. I also remind you that if we make the same mistake of trying to find home in Canada, because nature abhors vacuum, your homes will be taken over by Fulani people in Biafra land. You know, when I say things, people think it sounds a bit strange. When I tell you things, some of you doubt the authenticity or the validity of that very information. But in time, it begins to happen. Obasanjo called us names. They called us miscreants. What are the names again they used to call us? Miscreants. Biafra, jobless. Where is it again? Terrorists. Huh? Terrorists. But today, Obasanjo believes in what terrorists are saying. Danjuma believes in what terrorists are saying. What this noble IPOB family saw many years back, only now are they beginning to see it. That tells them that we are visionaries. That tells them that we have come here to do the work of heaven. And that is why Biafra will come. Some of you have doubts, but I don't. From day one, when I was arrested, when I was tortured, incarcerated, denied bail after bail in a competent court of law, when they came to kill me, when I went to rallies and they blocked everywhere, I had one thing in my mind. I knew my destination, where I was going to. And that place is Biafra. There is nothing absolutely nothing anybody can do to this mortal flesh to get me to either abandon or deviate from this very noble cause we have embarked upon. Nothing. Some say sometimes I dress too well. Somebody wrote an article and complained that Nnamdi Kanu now wears designer suits. And I said to the fool that everything you see me wear is given to me by IPOB family members. Even as I got to Canada yesterday, what is that brother of ours? Is he here at all? Where is he? He's there. He gave me 5 pairs of suits. And I have very important meetings to attend in the USA. And I shall be wearing them. When we started, in those days as a student in London, when we used to attend people meetings and all the rest of it, they used to say to us, you don't love yourselves. You can never agree to be one. And I said to them that you don't know these people as well as I know them. Our people love only one thing in their life. Source of union. Only one, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not only one. The truth, one simple thing only. One. And they will watch you for years. They will watch you for years. Not only are you truthful, are you consistently truthful? Once you do it, they will die for you as they did for me. 28 fair. They said instead of me to die, that they would die. 28 men fell to make sure that I'm alive. And I asked them, why can't we stay here together? They said, if you don't leave this very place, if they kill you here, IPOB will be dead, Biafra will be dead for the next 100 years. Yes. And I made them a promise and I said, because you have sacrificed your lives for Biafra, we will immortalize your existence with Biafra. And they will be known as immortals. Because of their sacrifice, Biafra will come. And there is nothing any idiot can do about it. Britain, I'm a British citizen, a British passport holder, I prefer to say. But I'm telling you here now with every ounce of confidence that Britain cannot even stop Biafra. That's right. Nobody can. The only thing that can stop Biafra is your fear. And I said that I will go to the zoo. And when I do so, the next time the zoo will fall. Yeah, that's right. I will go to the zoo, and when I do so, the zoo will fall. Everything I have said I will do, I do it. I have done everything. They said he cannot come home to preach this gospel, and I went home and I preached it. They said when he leaves prison, he cannot rally. Big Time Yako said I should stay in my house and not see anybody. And I told them I will break every condition you have given to me because I have a duty to serve my people. It took them nearly 7 years to concede that It will take them another 3.5 years, I said. Write it down on a piece of paper for them to acknowledge that the idiot you're saying in Asorok is Jubril Aminu al-Sudani. The day it will happen, I will go on Radio Biafra and I will tell all of you, remember what I told you in Canada. We see things that people don't normally see. The day Buhari died, I knew. I was in court. He was watching me via a secure line on AIT, which is one of the reasons why I don't like that very channel anymore. And we showed him a verse in the Torah. Because I was praying. If you doubt me, ask anybody that serves in the DOS. I told them what to do from prison. Get up, bring it. I said to them that Elohim has sent me a message that Buhari will die for daring to arrest me. Elohim said, I should go to my Torah and ask Biafrans to come to Abuja High Court with Exodus chapter 20 written boldly on a white banner. What I'm telling you now will be verified in the next 3.5 years, when Aisha must have been fed up of all the nonsense, and she will ask for the husband's body to be returned to her. As she's doing now, but none of you, or some knows anyway. She's been giving you the hint all this while that Buhari is dead. I'll prove it to you now. Upon the word of Elohim, they came to the court and they raised the banner. Pharaoh let my people go, Exodus 20. Buhari fell down and was rushed to a hospital in England. They stopped over in Morocco. Till today, they're still wondering how I knew they stopped in Morocco, but I know. They took a life support machine in Morocco. By the time they got to London, Buhari was brain dead. Then they started the Migmaro, the trickery. Because every colorful animal, whoever steps foot in the exalted office, be the Prime Minister or the President of Nigeria, is either they are killed in office, they die in office, or they are removed via a coup. When that assertion was made, listen very carefully, the Fulanis now decided that come hell or high water, that Buhari or anything bearing the name Buhari must remain in office for 8 years. So when Buhari died, they started shopping for a replacement. And they got this man from Sudan. They trained him. They started the process of confusing all of you with a bit of Photoshop, with the Archbishop of Canterbury, with this pastor, with that pastor, testing people to see if they will accept him. And the makeup artist was working overtime. After a while, knowing that we are black people, of which I make no apologies for, because sometimes we lack critical thinking, myself included. They convinced each and every one of you that that very young man, shorter than Buhari, cannot speak Fulani language, which is Fufude. Hello. Younger than Buhari, enjoying the money that comes from Biafra land via oil and gas. And maybe the other Aisha as well. I don't know, don't ask me. And all of you bought it. Yoruba newspapers kept publishing that this is Buhari, because they have their eye on 2023 for Tinubu, Yoruba man to become the president. But as I told you about people on Radio Biafra, and I repeat today, Yoruba land, when I speak, right, some of you. Are you recording it? Yoruba land will be taken over by Fulani people unless they change their ways. Unless they support the breakup of the zoo called Nigeria, Fulanis will take them over. Some of you will remember when I told you that Britain will suffer. Did I say it or not?
Yes.
Did I say Islam will overrun them?
Yes.
Did I say it?
Yes.
The day I said it, which one of us was saying? Asking me who asked you to say this one again now. And I said to him, nobody leaves him was evident. And today, Britain is being overrun by Islam. Today, Britain is being torn apart because as I speak to you, Scotland has tabled the second bill asking for a referendum to break away from the United Kingdom. Even the EU is saying that they will make life difficult for Britain. Do you know the funniest thing? I have told the British government, it sounds a bit funny to you, but your problem is Biafra. As long as you remain in Biafra, directing Fulanis to kill us, so you can have as much oil and gas as possible, Britain will be destroyed. Some of you are not following what I'm saying. It sounds a bit strange. That was how our agitation sounded strange to Obasanjo. And today he's a convert. He's a believer. The reason why I want to come here is so I can reference what I'm saying properly, that you may follow it. I have come to Canada to teach. Not necessarily. It's not a rally. I want you to get away from here with something. When the Constitution of the Zoo was written, we complained and complained and complained that this very Constitution is not fit for purpose. Some of you said, oh, leave it, it's democracy. When you get it, you change it. We said it's impossible because democracy is incompatible with the version of Islam that the Fulanis practice. Common sense. Today, they can remove your Chief Justice at will. They can rig election and rig anybody into power. If they like you, they dismiss your corruption charges. If they don't, they keep hounding you all over the place. But the world is quiet. I saw on the news today, Sudanese protesting in Canada about what is happening in Sudan and the resistance of the people against tyranny and oppression from the military dictators that took over just a few weeks ago. And it was on Canadian television news. They are killing us every day. We have rallied in Canada, in USA, everywhere around the world. But they will not cover it.
No. Why?
Do you know why they will not cover it? As our father said when he came, because when people speak, I listen to them. He was telling all of us here that this battle is against demons. Yes. We Biafrans are fighting demons we cannot see. Yes. Some of you think it's only Fulani, maybe with their Yoruba collaborators. No. Our enemies are very deep and very, very formidable. Every country in Europe, every major country in Europe has an oil company. And those oil companies are in Biafra land. And they don't want to leave. Why don't they want to leave? Because there is no meter measuring the amount of oil they take. No meter. So you want them to support an agitation that will mean this breakaway from that abominable contraption that will now compel them to pay for the amount of oil they take. So when you come to Canada and you lobby them to support Biafra and they say no to you, it's because the zoo lobbies are doing a very great job. And that is why that lady, what's her name? Saying up somebody, Mohammed, whatever, Zaka, whatever, I don't know what it is. She is now the Deputy Secretary General of the UN. They have spent an inordinate amount of money, huge sums of money, lobbying the whole world. If I take you now to CNN, if we were to organize a rally here in Canada, regardless of the validity of the claims that we make, regardless of the number of people that turn out, CNN will not cover it. The same way they don't cover the death of Christians. There was a shooting in New Zealand. Everywhere was awash with the news of the death. That every Sunday they slaughter Christians in their churches and nobody is saying anything about it.
We love Trump.
These are the enemies that you're fighting. When you see IPOB doing the best we can to liberate our land, I want you to have an idea as to how many monsters we need to confront. Some think it's easy. When you go on Facebook and write about Biafra, perhaps Biafra will come. It is not that way. Eventually we will march. If we have to fight for 1,000 years to get Biafra, we shall fight for 1,000 years. I said, I will die in a battlefield facing my enemies, me with a gun, them with a gun, then we are, they came with Air Force, Army, Police,
Everything.
Even Navy.
Yeah.
On the land. When they knew that I was nowhere to be found when they came to kill me, they decided to know the meaning of the word constitution. They don't know what it means. Forget all the nonsense you see in your telly. Senator this, Senator that rubbish. Their brains are empty, I assure you. Obasanjo is calling for a meeting to settle the identity crisis in Nigeria. Obasanjo was a former president. So as a former president, he doesn't even know where he comes from. He has an identity crisis. Now, if a former president is asking people to come so they can identify who they are, after how many years? Shouldn't that tell you that you're in one almighty mess in the zoo? But a black man's brain cannot comprehend it. Because we are black and we are from Africa. I say things the way they are. When I talked about Aisha Buhari, what I'm telling you is what they write. It's not what I made up. Aisha told Daily Trust newspaper, Buratai, come and end bandits now, or allow all of us to be killed. Some of you here claim that Buhari is alive. Is that correct? You say he's alive, and we have brain cells that still function. Some of our sisters are here, some of our mothers are here. And your husband is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. And you claim you live in Aso Rock with him. When bandits attacked Zamfara, you now went to Chief of Army Staff to go and complain, to do something. So the simple logical question is, Aisha, where is your husband?
Where is your husband?
But our people can't reason along those lines. I would have once see a woman where are thy husband. Still, people cannot put one and one together. Aisha Buhari wants the body of Buhari brought back to Nigeria for burial. The cabal said no. They need to retain power another 4 years. And that's why they're in a hurry. You see all the jihadi nonsense you see from Fulani headsmen, they only have 4 years to complete it. Only 4. And by then, most of your villages will no longer exist. Unless you do something now about it. I'm appealing to you today because you are Biafrans, not because you are Black African people. I believe that you are about to fulfill your destiny, the very same purpose for which the Most High God, Chukwukabiyama, put you in that part of the world, that you may bring light into Africa. Amen. No longer capable of producing an Oba. He's only an amen, forever and ever. They are finished. We are the only place in the whole of West Africa where Islam did not touch the coast. Chukwukabiyama will not forgive us if we allow these infidels to come in. There is something about old soldiers. When they speak, you know. Nyawodo said he fought at the age of 14. Our elders are here. Maybe somebody will accuse me of being disrespectful. I am not. My father is a traditional ruler. I grew up in the village, so I know what it means to respect elders. But where we come from, we don't respect Okenye. We don't do that. Maybe some of your villages you do, where I come from, we don't. When you hear veterans speak, you know. Did you hear the veterans when they came here to speak? Did you hear them? Because also Geneva, even when this Zulu tag during the war, you know the tag the soldiers wear. They steal their tag. And they claimed they were in battle, but they were not. Buhari is dead, buried, and the Sudanese is in charge of you. I spoke to a government. I won't tell you which government. And when we were speaking, they said, oh, so you don't know he's dead? They were the ones asking me. So you don't know he's dead? And when I talked about it, a Yoruba chap wrote and said, if this is Jubril, as you claim, how come America received him? I said, because in a democracy, if you present a goat as your president, the world will accept that very goat. Because they don't know. The country that some of you claim that you come from, a Sudanese is in charge of your life, presiding over the worst genocide for nearly 60 years. And some of you think it's normal. To us, it's not normal. To we, IPOB, it is not normal. Aisha was also begging for mosquito net. Are you aware of that? Are you aware? Are you aware that Aisha Buhari was begging for mosquito net?
Yes.
She said, where did you put the mosquito nets? Tell me so I can get take some. But the husband is the president. The husband is the president. And some of you can, or some of us cannot put two and two together to understand what is happening. Because over very many years, the Yorubas twisted our brain that we can no longer reason very well. All these things that I'm telling you are well documented and well reported in the zoo. That's what some of you know. And in the middle of all this nonsense, who is from Ebonyi State here, please? Ebonyi. Who is from Ebonyi, please? After eating a cola nut, it's no longer able. Ebonyi is here. Thank you very much. Thank you. Some of you know that Ebonyi is in trouble. Are you aware of that? And Ebonyi is being ruled by the same man that is a mortal enemy of freedom, is one adversary of IPOB because he wants to stay in power. And some of you here encourage them. Some of you here still refer to them as your leaders. And that is why they have the impunity to preside over the rape of our mothers, which is an abomination in our land. A very serious abomination where we come from. Because of money and wealth, some of us can do anything to get close to any politician. Some of us will abandon and jettison every vestige of honor and dignity that we possess in order to endear ourselves to these people. Some are perhaps driven by envy and by jealousy, but regardless of what it is, I can tell you today that your land, where you come from, Fulani have succeeded in planting leaders for you to do their bidding, to allow them to come in to take over your land. Umahi managed to cry out to say our mothers are being raped. And now, when it was attacked, Obiano said nothing about it. Absolutely nothing. A sitting governor. When we campaigned for the boycott of Anambra elections, we are called all sorts of names. But we knew that such a day would come when our people will realize the futility of not only their PVC, but their willingness to trust the democratic process in the zoo. Therefore, here in Canada, with a very mild voice, I appeal to all of you to do that which is necessary to ensure our survival as a race and to ensure that Biafra is restored. If you go home and do nothing, nothing will happen. But if you go home and decide to do something, something will happen. And that thing is the restoration of Biafra. I am pleading with all of you. Some people came from Vancouver, is that correct? And other far-flung places in Canada. You will go there and you will tell the people, you will mobilize them, you will talk to them about IPOB. They must either belong or they support. Because if you don't, Biafra will come. And when your flight comes in from Canada, we will check our register. What I'm telling you is the truth. And as to tell Abeke, I spoke to somebody who said he's an intellectual. If you don't support this very movement, God in heaven that I worship is my witness, you will not enter Biafra land. I'm telling you so you can go and not participate. And I'm telling you so this will be a litmus test in history, that you will understand that everything I say comes to pass. When I say that Biafra will come, Biafra will come. When we speak on that divine authority. Everything we say must come to pass. So you want us to contribute our money? You want us to die? When we die, you board a plane and come with your children. Eh? And then you say those that died are idiots, that they are fools. It doesn't work that way. Because the nation we are building is a model nation. Something that other Africans will emulate and they will copy it. There must be patriotism in each and every one of us. I'm on the phone to email. It doesn't matter what we do. I keep saying it all the time. Elohim told me that only 100 men are needed to restore Biafra. 100 pure men at heart. For their sake that Biafra will be restored. Not those who think that we do what we do for one or two ulterior motive or gain. If you can do this better than myself, please come. Because we love leadership. If you can do it better than myself, please come. I will gladly support you, as I did for 18 years before IPOB came, or before Chukwuka Kadema determined that IPOB should come. Biafra needs you. Your land needs you. If you fail to serve Biafra, Fulanese will take over. And then you have nowhere to go to. Was it not in Canada that somebody was raped? A man and a wife. They raped the man and they raped the wife. Is that not true? And the man is living in Canada, isn't it? A 9-year-old daughter as well was raped. Now you know you're no longer safe. It is therefore in your interest to support IPOB to ensure that Biafra is restored. When such a person heard about IPOB and what Biafrans are doing, I'm sure he was dismissive of it. Now he has gone to the zoo to witness firsthand what the zoo is like. Are you waiting for it to happen to you and your family before you learn that only IPOB can save everybody? They say we are fighting for Biafra because of oil. And I say to them that all the oil in Biafra land is in Igbo territory. Are you doubting me? Go and get the map of all the oil pipelines in the zoo and you'll be shocked. We say we want Biafra. People don't understand us. But I'm sure from today you will understand what we are doing. Yes. Because we are fighting for you, for your survival and that of your children. You are in Canada. Your kids probably don't speak Igbo, or Ejo, or Efik, or Edo for that matter. Let me tell you the truth. Your children will marry outsiders. And when that happens, your name will be gone. The name of your family will be permanently erased from the face of this earth. Because there is a name where we come from. It's called Ahamefu. If we all decide to remain in Canada forever and ever, who is going to build our land for us? That's what I'm asking. Who is going to do it for us? Who will build our land? You know, we like to come to Ebogerege. That is where we only attend meetings and summons where we know we have jollof rice. Nobody else. When they say to you, you have come, that you overshadow the so-called Niger Delta, you say to them that we never conquered anybody before. We are not conquerors. Awusa conquered all them because Fulanese came and conquered Awusa. Yorubas left Ife to conquer all those around them. But we never conquered anybody, but we are warriors. We fought the British for nearly 100 years before they destroyed Arochukwu in 1904. We cannot dominate anybody. We are enterprising, we are blessed.
Yes.
We are blessed. Anywhere we go to, we bring light.
Yes.
So people misinterpret and they misunderstand it. They do not see it as the blessing and grace of God. They see it as a trait of dominance. In Biafra land, everybody will mind their business. I repeat, in Biafra land, everybody will mind their business. Igbo people will stay in Igbo land and make laws in Igbo language. Efiks will stay in Efik and make laws in Efik language. The same thing applies to Ibibio. The same thing applies to Isoko, to Robo. Anybody that wishes to be alone, you will be alone and on your own. The same way we were before the white man came. So there will be everlasting peace. That is the constitution that people are afraid of. That is what the zoo doesn't want to see come to light. But we are resolute, we are determined, and we are focused. And if what I'm seeing here today is anything, in fact, what I started saying from yesterday is anything to go by, then I can assure you that Biafra is a lot closer than we think. Those of you in Canada, you are like the country that you're in it. Yes. They don't make noise, but they're very, very effective. That's right. Canada is a morally upright country. I'm being honest with you. Morally upright. Yes, they are. Yes. If you violate the rights of your people, this Canada will withdraw the ambassador from there immediately. Very straight. I don't know what the Queen is still doing as the head of state. I'm not going here, Mama, but put this on outside. If you people can emulate Canada, if you can emulate Canada, have the same conscience that this country has, believe me, we have no problem. Only you here can give us the Africans. I want you to understand something this evening, that regardless of what we do, that Biafra is going to come. If you sit down and do nothing, the Fulanese will take us over. Because they are in a hurry. As they are in a hurry, so too should we be in a hurry to restore Biafra. Is there any reason why Biafrans in Canada? Is that not correct? Because of that thing that we have in us about truth, consistency, and transparency. That is why you are here. And I assure you, on this very day, in this very town, or should I say in this very city of Toronto, that we shall see Biafra in our lifetime. And as that is happening, you will write this one down. By the time that we are done with the zoo, the name Nigeria will no longer exist. That is why we say that the zoo must fall. It must fall. Never to rise again, the zoo must fall. I know that some of you are like me. I got to Canadian border and they gave me a form. They said, "Where were you born?" At that moment, I was overcome with fear. I kept saying to my assistant, "What are we doing? Should we write Nigeria?" So I looked for Biafra. There was no Biafra. I said, "What do we put? Do we put maybe Seychelles or somewhere else?" That is how terrible the zoo is. I have nothing with them, but I cannot even come into Canada without being afraid that the name Nigeria could cause me problems. And some people say they are from Nigeria. When somebody asks you where you come from, please tell them that you're a Biafran. If they ask you where, you say he's on the eastern part. He's bordering Cameroon. And lastly this evening, the hatred they have for you cannot be quantified nor measured. There was a man, they said they are fighting corruption, is that correct? They said they are fighting corruption, is that correct? Yes. Do you know the first person to be jailed in this corruption fight is an Igbo man? Do you know how many years he was jailed for? Do you know how many years? No. 102 years. You don't know these things because the Yoruba media will not report it. You don't know these things because they want you to believe that you're part of Nigeria. You won't know these things because most of you attend Yoruba Pentecostal churches. You know, I speak the truth. I'm a person who Winners. You go to Winners.
She goes to Winners.
Hell. You're a chorister. You sing for them. I want to pick 4 people at random. Give us your full name. Please stand up. Give us your full name.
My name is Kanu.
Full.
Kanu Chika Kanu from Abia State.
His name is Chika. My brother, what is your name, please? Yes. My dear sister, what is your name? Chiamaka Mabara. Do I know you? I'm picking people at random. And the winners, the one that goes to winners. What's her name? Yes.
Barrister Mrs. Vivian Amadi.
Thank you very much. Now listen very carefully. Of all these names mentioned, they give glory to God.
Hallelujah! Hallelujah!
By virtue of your name, Chikodinaga, anytime I call your name, I am praising God in heaven.
Yes.
Then you left that to go to church where somebody's name is Kumiyi. They say I bring religion into Biafra. And I say to them, without religion, Biafra is nothing. Without God in heaven, there will be no Biafra. Everybody may be Olani. I'm coming. These are former Muslims. They were in Islam. They discovered there is money in tithe and the sowing of seed. It's a market. I have come to speak the truth, not to make everybody happy. Am I lying when I say that most Yoruba pastors were Muslims before? Is it a lie? No. Is it a lie? No. They use their media dominance to deceive all of us. It's like waiting for CNN or BBC to write something good about Biafra. Do you think it will ever happen? No. Will it ever happen? No. An Igbo man has been jailed for 102 years. When we know that the former EFCC chairman, Ibrahim Lamode, do you know how much he stole? Huh? Nonsense, $5.8 billion. Ibrahim Lamode. You don't know him? No, yes. Did Baba Chalaba not steal money? Yeah. Are they in prison? No. Because they are in power. And that is why we say that that very country, that damnable zoological republic, whatever foundation that is holding it, to go cut them actually destroy it. That is why today we pray that the spirit of Biafra will enter inside each and every one of you. Amen. The spirit of truth, the spirit of enlightenment, the spirit of honesty. That all of you may behold the glory of God upon our lives in this time, in this age, in the land of Biafra. What we do is not by the might of man, neither is it contrived nor planned, but through the mercy of the Most High. Therefore, we say this evening to all of you here gathered, that if you have decided within yourself to make that everlasting change, to embrace Biafra, work for Biafra, see Biafra restored, that glory may belong to the Most High, that will be the greatest thing you've ever done in your entire life. Because if you don't do anything, our mothers will be raped. If you don't do anything, our daughters will be abducted. If you don't do anything, they will expand the teaching of the Quran in our schools. It started in Anambra already, in case you don't know. Do you know that? or the chief in Canada. Do you know that they are now teaching Quran in our secondary schools? What are we doing about it? You see, you understand? Yes. Huh? Because IPOB is doing everything, doesn't mean that IPOB should do everything. We have finite resources. We are battling people. 140 is in prison. Hopefully tomorrow they'll be released. Has anyone asked us how do you feed 140 people in prison? But we do that. The soldiers in the battlefields of Annam fighting Fulani headsmen in April. And they were going to Abia on Thursday. Do you know how we finance them? Do you know how we finance them? No. There are people who believe in miracle. You are right. It is a responsibility for IPOB, and we are dealing with it. But you know, they tagged us a terrorist organization, of which Canada said no, that is rubbish. The IPOB is not. Because if I were to be a terrorist, I cannot cross any international border. It's as simple as that. The fact that I can travel freely around the world goes to show that the tagging of IPOB as a terror movement is a concoction by the Fulanis to hamstring us so they can come to our land and take it over. And we are fighting. And we are dying. All these fronts I'm telling you about, people are dying every day. And we take care of their families. But not very long now. That thing the zoo has been asking for, we will give it to them. I went to America, I went to World Igbo Congress, that was in 2015, and I said to them, we need guns and we need bullets to defend our land. When I went back and they took me to court, Ohanesa was saying that what I did was reasonable. Only yesterday, Nyawoda said, we must defend ourselves. Since 2015, what I saw 2015, only now they are saying, I will never mislead you. People here, maybe I travel, I'm in Canada. I have no life. I abandon my family. That Biafra may come. I seek for one thing, I concede. I want our children and their children and their children to remember this generation. To say that this generation fought for freedom. And that this generation succeeded in getting freedom. That in their time, Biafra came. That in their time, Abiyama blessed them. That in their time, we brought life into Africa. That in their time, we defeated every enemy before us. Therefore, I say, in conclusion, if you can all stand up to dedicate this to Chukwu Gambia. The Almighty, whom we praise and worship in His infinite mercy. We, your children, ask for only one thing, the privilege and the chance to live as you intended. We know we sinned against you. We know our ancestors sinned against you. We know we sold our lives into slavery. We know we did all manner of abominable things. But your promise remaineth forever. Because your word is yea and amen. Anything that comes out of your mouth must come to pass. Heaven and earth may cease to exist, but your word shall remain to eternity. Therefore, we pray this very day that these your children in Canada, that you will bless every of their endeavor, that you will give them understanding, you will grant them intelligence to see that which is to come. And that is your promise, and that is your glory of Biafra, that we will be in that very land to glorify your name, to give you praise and adoration unto your holy name. To do we pray now and forevermore? IBOB! 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 One family! One family! One family! A round of applause. He's another Savior. Holy, holy, holy. Nnamdi Kanu is another Savior. A round of applause for Mama Dikio. You may be seated. Please, the next thing we're going to be doing is question and answers. Can you give me audience, please? Audience, please. The next thing we will be doing, he's going to be taking your question on any subject you may wish to ask him questions. We will give you time to ask your questions. If we do this orderly, we will get to as many people as possible. But let me tell you, please, let me appeal to you. Sometimes people don't understand what a question is and what making statements are. You ask people to ask questions, then they start giving us lectures. The people here, we have a limited time to speak to director, the spring leader himself. There are certain things that are broad that you need further explanation on any subject, politics, religion, international relations, or even personal matters. Be precise, and I would advise you to please write your questions down. It's always easier when you write your question so that you do not stray from the question. You could make a statement or a statement of fact or point to a press release and then ask a question as a rejoinder to that particular subject matter. So, but, sometimes I understand people have problems trying to express themselves. And that's why I advise you to write down your questions. And when you write it down, it's easier. You don't lose your line of thought and you're precise. Ahmadika, are you ready to take questions? I'm going to call on a representative from Nnamdi Canada. We met with community associations, and they specifically, when we went there for evangelism, they said that we want question, and we obliged, and we have promised you that when Hamadike comes, you will ask question. And I'm going to call on Lambert Echelobi and Aham Mosi, the two people that are going to ask the questions. May you please come forward. Thank you. IPOB,
one family.
Nnamdi Kanu, it's an honor to see you and also to ask you this question. I just have a simple two questions. One is this. I have a little concern regarding our neighbors in Biafra land, which is the south or south, Niger Delta. There has been a lot of issues on internet lately about Sari Dokubo and his group. What is IPOB doing about it? That is my first question. And then the second question is to ask you about your parents. We're all aware of the day the attack happened in your house, and we believe they were in their house that same day. We don't know their whereabouts since that attack. Please. Thank you.
Thank you very much. As you well know, I don't respond to gossip. That's one thing about me. But regarding what we are doing about our cousins from the coastal part of Biafra, as I refer to them, because there is nothing called Niger Delta. Nobody comes from a place called Delta. Delta is a Greek word which means basically where a body of water runs into a larger body of water. Where the river meets the sea. So nobody comes from the Delta region. Because if somebody comes from the Delta region, that means that those from Mississippi, Delta, is also related to them. There is nothing like South-South either. It doesn't exist. These were names concocted by our enemies to divide us. Most people in Ijaw land, including Angio priests and all the rest of them, are from Arochukwu, and they know it. They concede to it. They know this very well. Anybody trying to claim or imply or suggest that what we are doing in this movement is an Igbo-centric or Igbo-only affair, the person is mistaken. The first people to protest when I was arrested were our mothers from Akwa Ibom. Akwa Ibom women, the first people to protest. People walked all the way from Abo to Enugu. They spent 4 days on the road to go and attend a protest to make sure that I'm released. Those that blocked Head Bridge on Onitsha included everybody. So forget the efforts by the Yoruba media to drive a wedge between us. We are all one family. But as you know, in every family, there are normal people, there are people who are a bit very funny people. And we welcome all shades of character in Biafra land, and with the difficulties that comes with it. But we know that we are all seeking for freedom, and that is where we are focused, and that's where we're going to. It's a moving train. IPOB is the largest mass movement in the whole world. I said the whole world. Banon. Because it's Igbo, they don't believe it. IPOB is the largest mass movement on this earth. I'm telling you. If anybody claims anywhere they don't know or they have not heard about IPOB, they are lying to themselves. And regarding my parents, they are ill, but they are in my possession. Let's pray that way.
Thank you, Nnamdi. The next person is Ahamosu. Are you here? Okay. The next person is Ike Nwago. Ike Nwago is a real estate agent. So if you want to buy a house in Toronto, you can meet him.
Yeah. Honorable Ebredike. My question is, we really appreciate you coming to here today, Canada, for the first time. My question is, through your travels and meeting with world leaders, or for something like the powers that be, like US, Britain, and who else in the West, have they ever, in trying to negotiate as to what they can help us with in this effort, if, let's say, they come up with proposing to you, like the British, because they're getting something from the cabals, from the Fulanis in Nigeria, if they propose something about them giving up, us giving up some of the things that they're getting from the North, because at the end of the day, I know they will never give up whatever they're getting from that. If that's a proposal that they make to you, that we can give them some of the things that they get from the North for them to help with our effort, is that something that we are flexible on working with? Thank you.
Thank you. It's a very good question. The truth of the matter is this, and please listen attentively, I beg of you. If it were any other group of people, they would say yes. But Britain will always say no to the emergence of Biafra. If you like, give them the whole world. Because there is, you have the local village cabal in Asorok, headed by Abba Kyari. There is also a world cabal. They don't want Biafra to emerge because of what Biafra represents. Because of what I refer to as the spiritual dimension of Biafra. But the other ones, they're interested, they're amenable. They want us to be free. But what they said to me, I will tell you in the open. They have not seen enough seriousness from you. Freedom is not cheap. Freedom is not something you ask for. You write a letter. I asked them, they said, we have written to the mayor. And I said, what did you do after the writing of the letter? Nothing. If there is follow-up, if you're on the streets of this Canada, all of you here protesting, month after month, one day they will say, why are they stopping us? As I told them today, Liverpool Football Club, that is my club. Yes, not because they won the European Cup. There was a disaster in a place called Hillsborough when Liverpool went to play Sheffield Wednesday. Many, many decades ago. Liverpool fans kept protesting for nearly 30 years until they got what they were looking for. I'll give you another example. Southern Sudan. Southern Sudan fought their war for 30 years. We fought ours for only. Now you see the difference? Tenacity and consistency. Tenacity and consistency. Now they know that you're serious. The fact that we surrendered in 1970, some of them we are still holding it against us because they said had the war lasted another 6 months, that Nixon would have changed his mind. Do you understand? When you just don't wake up in the morning and say, I want to fight for freedom, if you're not prepared to go through the pains and the hardship and the sacrifice needed to accomplish it, that is why I said I will sacrifice everything. If I die today and Biafra will come, believe you me, I will offer myself to be hanged now, here. That's how far I'm prepared to go. But if some of you are in Canada, you go to work, you come back, you do nothing else. You go to one meeting or the other, and that's it. You talk about Biafra. Biafra will never come. You must do something. That's why I said, all of you here, believe you me, if you swear your government, because I am not a Canadian citizen. Are you following me?
Yes.
I cannot contact maybe your MP or whoever, but you can. How many of you have written to your MPs about Biafra? Or the people are dying? How many? Just look at about 4 people. And the union of politicians, they love votes. You don't like votes? Yes. And we have the numbers here. We can go to a political party and say to them, if you support us, we will vote for you. It's as simple as APC. But we have done nothing. So when I go as a lone ranger to the Canadian government, writing and saying to them, they'll be thinking to themselves that you claim you have your people here. If what you're saying is true, how come they are not disturbing me? That's all. So we all need to try and do something. Thank you.
Thank you, Nnamdi. The next person that's going to be asking question is Ike Okezie.
I'm so pleased to see you. First of all, you gave me a sleepless night for years, especially when you went missing. I could not sleep. I could not. I took it very personal. I became my dad back. And I only connected with you just 2 years ago. I never heard about you. Don't know nothing about you. But just 2 years ago, listening and watching you online, you taught me some things that I should have known growing up in Nigeria. I've been in this country now for 32 years. I don't know nothing. I learned so much from watching you. I came from Eastern England to here 32 years ago. And your world of knowledge, experience, is amazing. I told my wife tonight, I said, I'm going to sleep. That Nnamdi Kanu that was always making me sleep late. I will come back from work, I will keep watching until 4 a.m., 5 a.m. I still have to wake up at 8 o'clock, having 3 or 4 hours of sleep. So I want to ask you, what do you, let me finish. This is my moment. He's a little brother to me. Okay, so this is my moment. I have come to the realization that God really sent me. God really sent me. I'm not supposed to be here for one reason. Because Okezie Ibaz is my cousin from the same company. I don't agree with him. I don't share with his politics. They're all watching me. Even back home. I don't care. This is me. I'm just like you. Years ago. I'm unbribable. I'm unsellable. Because if my people are happy, I am happy. That's why I'm here today. They can watch me all they want. I'm going to be in Nigeria for the next 1 month. I told them. So, I don't know if you have any news for him.
IPOB. I thank you very much, my dear brother. Okezie Ibazu's sins are beyond pardon. And you say this to him when you see him that I said to mark it somewhere. We will hunt him down, even if he's 99 years old, we will find him, he will stand trial and he will be hanged publicly.
There's a Volkswagen car that is blocking someone is CCDM 452. Charlie David Mary 452. I repeat, Charlie David Mary 452. Volkswagen car. You're blocking someone. Please, if you don't mind, you can go up with your car. The next person that's going to be asking question is Amota Klein. Is he here? I saw him here before. It's left, I guess. Obasi Omuka, are you here? Please come on. Please, there are people that came from Montreal, there are people that came from Ottawa, they're going to be driving, so please make your question precise.
My question is, what is the... Okay, my name is Obasi Onka. My question is, what's the effort towards getting a referendum?
Our quest for referendum is ongoing. With or without the approval of the UN, we shall hold our referendum. For the simple reason, as I explained earlier, her name is Zakaria Mohammed. She is the Deputy Secretary General of the UN. Yes, Fulani people saved up $18 billion as their war chest to lobby. That is why John Kerry can go to the north. That is why Tony Blair goes to the north. Are you following me? Yes. You know, when I say we are fighting demons, people don't understand it. So if you're waiting for UN to sit down to pronounce a referendum for Biafra, we are wasting our time. Unless we compel them to. And there are only two ways we can do that. Consistent civil disobedience, or we go to war. That's all. Without war, they will not ask us to have our referendum. It's as simple as that. But we can compel them using consistent means of civil disobedience. Those of you in Canada must do something. Everyone must do something. Thank you.
Thank you. As we are talking, there is suya, like I told you, existing sticks. There are caps, there are t-shirts. All the efforts you're making is geared towards helping people that are in need, people who put their lives every day on the line. The next question, person that will asking question is Bob Mba. Are you here, please? Is Bob here? Oh, okay, he's gone. I want to thank the last person that asked question. That's the kind of question we want to take, precise, so that other people have opportunity to ask questions. Bob is there.
Yes.
Before I forget, please, the spring leader of Indigenous People of Biafra is here. And we, members of IPOB, we must understand that these people are our clients. At no reason will you be rude or talk back when people speak, because we need them in the struggle. It's no longer time for you to use different words or different things. They are our people. We need them. And that's the message he's saying today. So when someone speaks, you don't assume he knows. If he knows, you wouldn't be asking questions. Thank you.
Salom, Mazi. My question is, I believe there is there is a committee that is in charge of all these movements. And I believe this committee, my question is, this committee, do they have other Biafrans from other states, like the Cross River, Rivers, and other Delta, inculcated in this committee? I would like to know. That's one question. Then another question is, if there are organizations from these states, have you had town meetings with them, like the Calabars, the Rivers, and all that? And it bothers me when I think about them. For example, there are people from River State, Abaibom, and all these other, what we call South, which I really don't believe. They are in this country, they are in this province. But I'm surprised that they are not here, they are not represented here. Like how many numbers? I mean, like they are here for numbers. What I'm talking about. If we get together with these people, if we get together and they come out to show their support, I think it will give the zoo reason to worry. We shouldn't be doing this. It's like we are being like the sacrificial lamb, the Igbos. What we do is, sorry, that's not for me to answer. We should get them together. Like we should invite them, or you should have a town meeting with them, so that we will have that confidence that these people are actually with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. IPOB. Regarding your first question, the answer is a simple yes. Regarding your second question, the answer is also yes. If you listen very carefully, in fact, in 2015-16, there was a very powerful editorial written by Newsweek. In that editorial, they said that should IPOB come together officially with the Avengers, that the zoo will fall. You must also know, for those who are saying that we are not together or think we are not, Avengers started because of my imprisonment. The number one demand of NDA is the release unconditional of Nnamdi Kanu. It was only when the criminals started coming in that they started moving my name down the order. Before I left prison, I think I was at number 8. I refer you to what Governor Okowa said 4 weeks ago. Do you know what he said? What did he say? Can somebody give him the microphone to tell our brother what the governor of Delta State said?
He said, any day South join Biafra, Nigeria will.
Simple. So they are the ones wasting their time. They are waiting for Fulani headsmen to come. Like Obasanjo before they wake up. They are with us. And I know one other thing they are waiting for. But I can't tell you. Only me and Lucha are followers. It's not for this audience. and we'll do that thing. Once that thing is done, you will see them in larger numbers than you even imagine. Thank you.
The next person is Emmanuel Duru. Emmanuel Duru. In absence of it, oh, okay, Scott.
IPOB. Amadike, I must thank God for seeing you one-on-one today. I must say you're a great man. When you say that IPOB is the largest movement in the world, I'm surprised people don't know. I'm surprised. My question is very simple. In Anambra election, you were so consistent making sure that IPOB people do not come out to vote. But in 2019 election, at the dying minute, I think I heard your broadcast telling IPOB to go out and vote. And you mentioned a lot of things, but it wasn't too clear to me. You was personally, let me not use that word. Personally, I wasn't happy about it. Now, whatever reason that made them to give you that pressure is what you did not explain very well in your broadcast. So I wish to know. Thank you.
It's a very good question. It's one of the questions that I like. And please, you will listen to me very attentively. Our people are Republicans. Understand this. When you're leading our people and you're in front running, once in a while you look back and make sure that they are close. Because there's a deal where you'll be running, they look at you how you're running. They will say they can't understand this, and they will stop and they watch you. They won't move anymore. Yeah, I'm trying to explain something here. Our people, APC was counting on the boycott to rig the election in such a way that Atiku and Obi could not contest it. Understand this. And the blackmail came that we are doing this thing for selfish reasons. Our elders kept calling me one after the other. And I said, I want terms and conditions met. And they were met. If I did not call off that very boycott, IPOB would have been dead by now. They will